Are you ready to make some serious money to start recruiting as a side hustle? You're not ready to quit your job. I get it, but let's make some money recruiting. So check out this video right now and I'll give you some tips. Welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brianna Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. If you have not seen this channel before, it's all about making money and upping your game in the recruiting industry. So let's get to it. Now, there are all sorts of blog posts all over the place talking about how much money you can make in recruiting, and it's exciting. But I'm here to keep it real with you, and I'm going to tell you how to actually do it successfully, because I have seen tons of people recently, especially because, the job market's a little funky still. But I've seen them being like, hey, I'm not making anything. What? This is fake. This isn't real. Okay, money in recruiting is absolutely real and you can still do it as a side hustle, but you have to learn how to do it. On the surface, recruiting looks fairly easy, right? You find someone for the job, you send the person in, the person interviews, get the job, you negotiate their salary, bada bing, bada boom. It's actually pretty hard, because there is a lot of numbers, a lot of candidates that go through this process in order for you to get this hire. So there's all sorts of moving parts. So first and foremost, if you are going to get in recruiting as a side hustle, not your full-time job, you need to learn how to be a sourcer. And this goes for even anyone that wants to join this for reals. So if you want to be a sourcer, you have to learn, you have to educate yourself. Yes, I have amazing courses on this via Thriversity. So click down there. It's going to be in the comments below. Definitely check that out. But there's all sorts of ways that you can do it too. Watch the YouTube channel. So subscribe. There's all sorts of other great people out there that are teaching how to be sourcers, and you should really go do it. But you cannot make money in recruiting unless you know how to truly source. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, I have sales experience. I can do biz dev. I can go find some clients. Now, I will tell you, it is very different. I have hired several people to come do biz dev for me that had tons of experience in sales, was that real killer, but there's a different science to it in recruiting, okay? So by all means, try it if you can. If for some reason you have this magical power that you can get clients for recruiters, yes, that's another way that you can have a side hustle in recruiting, okay? So there are two different ways. I'm just telling you, sourcer is the easiest way to do it. So learn how to do sourcing. You do not have to have LinkedIn Recruiter. There's all sorts of other ways to do it. We'll put a couple of the people that we love in sourcing. So Covey is one of them. Better Leap is another one. And you can definitely source for free on LinkedIn, which is, yes, another video that you can click on. Okay, so we got that out of the way. You know how to source, you understand it. You also need to understand candidate experience. You need to know, now you don't have to always take intakes. If you just want to source for people as a side hustle, you don't necessarily have to have that first conversation. You could just do the pass off. Well, how are you going to do that? All right, well, first, there's lots of different platforms that you can use. I've already done a video on freelancing, how do you freelance as a recruiter? And there are lots of platforms. Paraform was the one I featured that day. So click that one and you can handle that. But there's all sorts of other platforms that you can use. There's Reflex, there's Recruitify, and I'm sure there's a lot more. So either find the platform you want to use, or what I really suggest is talking to other recruiting firms. You're the ones that you get along with, the ones in your niche, and the ones that at the end of the day you trust. So you definitely have to build a relationship before you just side hustle this out. Okay. Then once you have decided, hey, who's going to pay my bills if I source the right people for them? Now you need to build up that LinkedIn connections to focus on that exact niche that you're trying to fill. Because with connections, they are free messages. So you can reach out to all of them and your network becomes your net worth. Okay, I know that we hear that a lot, but in recruiting, it's very real. Okay, so now another way that you can start recruiting as a side hustle is when you're a sourcer and you're hitting the ground running, you know how to do it, you can actually grab some contracts. So maybe you don't want to just do contingency work for other firms. Maybe you want to just contract yourself. There's lots of contracts out there. Look on LinkedIn, look on Indeed, other job boards. A lot of industries need you. Okay, there are, and I'm going to do this in a different video, which you'll see soon, but there are over 10 million open jobs. Okay, so obviously recruiting is a much needed job. Now, once you have all of these things, you've got the network, you know where you're sending people to, you are a sourcing machine. I suggest grabbing 3 to 5 roles to work on. You need to get success somewhere first. So then you've already understood the process and we're moving forward. Okay, great. 3 to 5 roles, that's feasible. Working more than 5 different roles, I'm not talking about overlap, but 5 different roles, your head is going to be like, oh, I can't do it. Okay, even the best recruiters out there tend to not work on more than 5 different roles at a time. There's not enough overlap and you can't possibly spend that much time on one role. Now, how are you going to get paid? So let's decide on your split. What's super normal is for a sourcer as a side hustle is to charge 20 to 25% of the fee. Super normal. Now you're not really involved. You're just sourcing the top of the funnel and you're handing it off, right? You're not involved in the candidate experience. You didn't do the intake, more likely than not. You're just passing them off. You're just the one that's getting them interested. Poof, the handoff, the alley-oop. So when you're handling the whole process though, so let's say, hey, I like to handle the whole process. I like to source. I like to get them on the phone, get the intake. I got their resume and I want to talk to them throughout the entire interview. And I also want to deliver the offer. That's a lot of work. And it's something that means that you really have to be on. So as a side hustle, I'm not sure how that flows. I don't know what your other day job is. But if you think you can handle that, remember, timing is everything. So that's why I'm bringing this up. Then you can absolutely charge 50%. So 50% of the fee, bada bing, bada boom. Lots of recruiting firms will do that all day long. Okay, but that's your decision on if you want to be super, super, super involved. Now, after you've decided all these things, you need an agreement, right? You need a split agreement. Now, most agencies hopefully are used to doing this kind of thing. I know I am, that they have their own split agreement. But the thing that you have to understand is, let's say your person gets placed today. You're not getting paid today. Because the firm themselves do not get paid today. They get paid essentially from when the person starts, about 10 to 30 days after, and then they have a guarantee. Because think about this, they're not going to pay you if the person isn't fully out of their guarantee. So please know that when you are doing this as a side hustle, you're more likely than not going to get paid until 90 days after you've already found and placed the right person. So the sales cycles are a lot longer in recruiting, but once you get going, it's going to snowball. It's going to be amazing. And that's when you're going to start seeing the money. But please don't expect to see the money until at least 90 days. So as you are doing this splits and doing this side hustle, make sure that you ask the agencies, hey, how long's the pay period? So is it 10 days, 30 days? Please don't work with an agency that does longer than 30. That's not normal. And then also ask what their guarantee is with each client. Now, I do have some clients that I can get a 30-day guarantee with, but I will say the norm is 90. So make sure the roles that you are working on, you know exactly what the terms are because I don't want you to get frustrated. But again, this is very lucrative. It's very fun and it's life-changing. So go make the money as a side hustle. And then once you've made so much money and you can't help yourself because you love recruiting, then I'll be welcoming you into the recruiting world for reals. All right. Have an awesome day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, like, subscribe, and we do have a new cool newsletter coming at you. So you can you can find out everything that I'm up to, and you can even do a Dear Millionaire Recruiter, which is really fun. I'm getting some really great questions. And so that's also in the newsletter as well. And do not forget that money is just a vessel to do all the amazing things you want to go do in life. So go live it. See you next Thursday.